What's going on, brochachos? It's your boy Tanner Wabna Barbarian Body. A question I've been getting recently is, Tanner, I'm unable to get very many pull-ups at all. I'm trying to get to 10. What do I do? Let's get straight into it. All right, so I'm gonna explain this to you guys by telling you a little story, okay? When I was in high school, I had a buddy, his name was Jake. Him and I were both doing this thing, this competition where you try and get into this 1,000-pound club. You had 4 movements that had to total 1,000 pounds. You had the bench press, you had a deadlift, you had a clean and press, and I can't remember what the 4th exercise was, but you had to total 1,000 pounds. Him and I were gonna do it at the exact same time. I know, very cute. So, we did our movements, we both passed the 1,000 pounds, but the last criteria that you needed to get was to be able to perform 10 pull-ups. Your boy can do that very easily. That's not too tough for me. My friend Jake, on the other hand, he can only get like 4 or 5. He tried the first day. We were supposed to get a 1,000-pound club t-shirt. We were supposed to become members. It's very prestigious. But we weren't able to do it that day because he was only able to get like 4 or 5 pull-ups. He tried probably 4 more times. The guy could only get like 5 pull-ups at max. So he tried again like the next day. Same thing. He could only get like 5 pull-ups, no matter how many times he tried. He kept trying the same thing. He just kept trying to get 10 pull-ups every single time. He'd go back to the gym and try and get his 10 pull-ups. After 2 weeks, he was not able to improve his pull-ups like whatsoever. So I said, listen, Jake, love you, bud, but I gotta get into the club. I'm just gonna bang out my 10 pull-ups. I want the t-shirt, because he got this nice camouflage t-shirt when he joined the club. So I got in, and he had to figure out his way on how he could get his 10 pull-ups. He told me what his strategy was, because he finally was able to do it. So what he did was, he had to focus on 2 muscle groups and train them a lot more differently than he normally was. He would train his back and he would train his biceps. He started doing sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. This was totally different. He started adding in a ton of volume. We're talking about exercises like dumbbell chainsaws or dumbbell rows, whatever you want to call those there. 15 to 20 repetitions. This is very difficult to do, by the way. Bicep curls, okay? Whether that be supinated grip, whether that be hammer grip, he started doing 15 to 20 rep sets. And he'd do a lot of sets too. He wouldn't just do 3 sets, he started doing 5 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. And he had to do this for a couple of weeks. And what he was able to do was train his muscles in the way that they needed to be trained in order to get a high number of repetitions on the pull-up bar. So after a few weeks, after I was already in the club, he finally managed to do it, and he owes it all to high repetition exercises for the back and for the biceps. Now, not just that, Jake also tells me that his #1 strategy was also to train doing his pull-ups and do a ton of volume. So he would squeak out as many reps as he possibly could in his first set. So he was only starting, he would only be able to get like 4 or 5 reps. He'd stop, he'd rest, he'd go back up, pop out as many reps as he possibly could, and then he'd rest. He constantly kept doing this and just attacking high numbers of repetitions at once. He would chunk it, okay? He would always constantly keep chunking it, and he was just overloading the muscles by tossing in tons and tons of volume. And that is ultimately what allowed him to finally get his 10 pull-ups. Now I'm gonna give you guys my strategy for going at this. How I would go about doing this, if I could grab what I wanted to show you, to train my pull-ups if I wasn't able to get more than like 3 or 4. And that would be the magic of these resistance bands. What you're able to do is hook this thing up onto the bar. You loop it in, and now you got something that's terrific, because this is now going to allow you to assist your pull-ups. So you pull the band down, toss your knee in, okay? You get into your pull-up position right here, and now you've got assistance so that you can get and you can train volume on the pull-ups if you're unable to do so without the band. This one right here is likely taking, you know, between 30 to 50 pounds off of my body weight in order to do the pull-up. So if you're unable to do it with your current body weight, maybe taking 30 to 50 pounds will help you to be able to do that. And if the green band isn't strong enough, then go ahead and use the blue band. This one right here is probably taking like 70 to 90 pounds off of your pull-up. And you're gonna do the exact same thing that my friend Jake did there. You're gonna go ahead, you're gonna get up on this band, and you're gonna start chunking the repetitions. So you're gonna get as many as you possibly can on the first set. Rest, give yourself 30 to 45 seconds, pop back up there and get some more repetitions. And you wanna aim to be able to get 30 to 40 repetitions in a single set. You wanna give yourself at least 48 hours of recovery between that workout, and then do it again. Do it 2 to 3 times per week in order to increase the strength of all those muscles that you need to train to do this exercise here. And now, one very important thing that I wanna make mention here, if you're going to be getting 10 repetitions in your first set with the right leg, you need to make sure you're gonna do 10 repetitions on the left leg as well, because this assistance makes the exercise easier for one arm as opposed to the other. So you need to avoid developing muscle imbalances by making sure you get the same number of reps on the left as you do on the right. So there you guys go. Cool little story about my friend Jake and how he was able to get his 10 repetitions on the pull-up, and then my unique little strategy in order for you guys to get some more pull-ups and to increase your pull-ups if you are unable to do so with just your body weight. And trust me, this is a strategy that I use sometimes after I hit mechanical failure and I'm unable to lift my body weight up anymore and I want to push past that point. I go up and toss a resistance band as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, then be sure to give your boy a like down below, and also be sure to subscribe for weekly workout tips and nutrition tips that you will not want to miss. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I'll see you in the next video.